Here's the basic primitive lean-to design. It's a little bit different than the brush shelter we built before, but this could be 2 trees. If you can't find them close enough together, then you can use 1 tree and another branch that has a Y in it. But it takes a long time to put these in ground, so I always try to find 2 trees that will bear the weight. And again, this ridgepole has to be strong enough to bear the weight of whatever you're going to pile on it. So if you've got leaf clutter, it's lightweight, but if you have anything green, any brush that's green, that's going to cause an issue for you because it's going to increase your weight. But the same thing applies. So let's pretend this is leaf clutter, and we'll just pile that on the back part of the shelter, starting from the bottom up, just like you would shingle any other structure. And you could pour this in a jacket and then pour it over the area. You may only have green grasses or even green leaves. If you can find some palm fronds that are large, those work perfectly as shingles. Again, you're looking for 2 to 3 feet of depth in your brush to provide adequate insulation. You want insulation from the ground on the inside. You can make a reflective wall. So you can put a reflective wall out here, but you need to make sure that your shelter is far enough away. And this could be stones, but you build your fire right here and you have a wall and it'll reflect heat back in to your structure. I didn't build that beforehand, but that's the idea of that reflective wall. If you use sticks, you're going to have your fire far enough away from it or it'll catch them on fire. So again, these are all scaled up. This is about 7 to 8 inches apart so that a 6-foot person could fit in there. So I've got it scaled 7 to 8 inches apart. So if I needed to measure something out that was 6 inches, I could put it in there, and then that would tell me, okay, I'm 6'2". I should be able to fit in a 7 to 8 foot structure. You want something where you can really stretch out. You don't want to be hunched over because you may have to spend a lot of time in this structure if it rains, and you want it to be where you can set upright without being hunched over and where you can lay completely flat. And you can see this is the precursor to an A-frame, a primitive A-frame. This requires no cordage. It's all using the weight of the brush that you pile on it. So it's got to be pretty robust, pretty strong, and you can save a lot of time by not having to tie things together. So you, maybe the end of the day, you figure out, okay, I'm gonna have to stay here a while, build a quick lean-to to get through the night. You don't know if it's gonna rain, so shelter's your first priority. If you can't find a ready-made shelter like a cave or something that's falling over that would shelter you, then this is a quick option. It's really good for humid, hot environments because a lot of times you can find things like palm fronds to build this and it's really lightweight, but it's also good for winter. So for me, a lean-to is one of my go-tos. Anytime I want to build a shelter, I would rather build a lean-to than any other shelter, mainly because it gives me more space. I can add on to it and increase the space because, let's say it's the end of the day, I build my shelter, and then the next day I have more time, so I lay more sticks out here, pile more on, bring more sticks around. So now I have a 3-walled shelter and one way to get in it, and it really insulates you from the environment. But build small scale first so you kind of have an idea of what you would need. Measure it out in inches, and then you can scale that up in feet, and you'll save yourself a lot of time and energy. And you could easily get yourself up off the ground if you have 2 logs. You can place a log here, and then saplings across it. I'll show that in the next video with the A-frame so that this video is not too long.